Hey all you nerds, Gabe, aka Froopy Art here, and welcome back to our Gravity Falls and Cryptid-inspired Pokemon region. In the previous episode, you battled the Psychic-type prodigy Glee and earned another device component. But you spotted some mysterious hooded figures and chased them into a nearby swamp. You hop on your Rotom Shift bike and head in the direction that you saw the Cypher Squad grunts flee. But after a few minutes, you have to admit that you have lost them. You check your map, and you are in the dead center of the swamp. You stand still and try to listen for movement, but all you see are some familiar Pokemon. Mushy Mind, Kettytuff, and even the rare Phasbogor are seen here, along with a couple of new species. You know what this region really needs? A cute little bat. This line will actually be based on the Manananggal from the Philippines. That's just a very hard name to say. But we're starting out with something that has more general vampire vibes. So, we get wings that feel like a fun cape, droopy ears that look like emo hair, and some big old lashes, since this line will lean a bit more feminine. What with the Manananggal's inspiration. I want this little bugger to start out pretty friendly. In fact, it will be just a mono flying type. It could easily be a dark type too, and we will get there, but the lore for this line has it resisting that for now. Okay, let's say hello to Bitty Bat, the happy bat Pokemon. While some find this flying type's appearance to be a bit scary, little Bitty Bats strive to be happy and helpful and not give into how they are perceived. They find it especially easy to maintain their chipper demeanor with a supportive trainer cheering them on. They love eating fruits and berries, but in moments of weakness have been documented biting other Pokemon and even people. The ability is Strong Jaw, and that increases the power of biting moves, with a hidden ability being Infiltrator. A number of them sit up in the swamp trees and wave happily at you as you pass. Being so friendly, they would certainly be a willing catch if you wanted one. Something larger squirms under the tree though. Okay, we're gonna start out pretty vague with the start of this two-stage bug line. We'll be dealing with a fly with the second stage, which I can't believe we don't have just like a normal fly Pokemon yet. But before we get there, we have a larva pupa design. The front half is the worm-like larva, complete with the goofy little face, and the back half is the protective pupa casing, complete with some spines, that some pupa can have. Honestly, there is not a whole lot to write home about with this design. It needs to be a big bug, but I really do love the dumb expression. Yeah, I don't know, it makes me happy. Okay, let's go ahead and meet Pupa Dupa, the big bug Pokemon. This larva only ever has one thing on its mind: eating. A Pupa Dupa is somehow able to eat 2 times its body weight in vegetation in a single day. Residents of the Hoenn region have to protect their gardens from these enormous pests, but a well-trained Pupa Dupa can be trained as an effective lawnmower. The more they eat, the harder their back shell becomes, and the closer they get to evolving. The ability is Thick Fat, so that reduces damage from fire and ice type moves, with the hidden ability being Gluttony. It inches across the swampy ground, practically inhaling the tall grasses growing everywhere. It seems completely oblivious to your presence as it mindlessly eats and eats. As you document the new Pokemon, you hear footsteps behind you. Did those Cypher Squad grunts circle around to take you by surprise? You turn to see 2 people emerging from the swamp haze.
Woo-wee! I found him all right! There's the culprit!
Nice work, Deputy. Now you have the right to remain guilty of kidnapping Lazy Susie.
Oh, we got you! We got you!
Oh, no, wait. My mistake. This is just one of the Pines twins. And to think, we almost locked you away.
Ah, shucks.
I'm Sheriff Dubs, and this is my wonderful deputy, Blurlin.
That's me! I'm Blurlin!
Yes, you are. And don't ever change. Anyway, some of the townspeople are in a fuss, saying that a couple hooded figures kidnapped Lazy Susie and fled into these swamps. You haven't seen anything, have you?
You explain that you were hot on their trail, but you've lost them now.
Well, shoot. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I was hoping we would solve this case before that fancy officer from Interpol does.
This is our turf. We should be solving this case. But we're probably gonna fail again.
Any case that I'm on with you is a success.
Yeah, where do we look for clues next?
Maybe we check back at Susie's diner?
Oh-wee! That's where they have donuts and pie! We may have to confiscate that as evidence.
We might just. All right, kid. You stay safe out here. We have important police business to attend to.
The two officers skip back the way they came. Something tells you that these two won't be solving the case anytime soon. Alone again, you continue west. You eventually can't ride your bike as the muddy terrain is slowing you down too much. You hear more Pokémon around you and spot another couple new species. Alright, this design turned into a wonderful Froopy coincidence. So this is based on the Groot slang of South Africa. The exact descriptions are a little tough to nail down, but we are essentially dealing with a cave-dwelling beastie that is the origin to both snakes and elephants, so we need a funky combination of the two. It was during the sketching process that I landed on a very familiar body plan and realized that this thing could be related to one of my favorite designs from the prehistoric Palean region, Mimiton. False eyes, so it feels like an elephant. The real face is at the end of the trunk. Yeah, it's just perfect. And I love getting to nod to a previous region of mine. Okay, let's go ahead and meet Snooton, the snake trunk Pokemon. This single-stage ground type seems to be related somehow to the extinct Mimiton that was recently revived in the Palean region. Snooton appear to be similar to Donphan and Caparaja, but their head is actually located at the end of their trunk-like neck. Though large, they enjoy living underground and digging with their tusks. The ability is Sand Force, so that raises the power of ground, rock, and steel-type moves during a sandstorm, and the hidden ability is Sand Rush. It stomps about and eyes you with suspicion as you pass, but your attention is drawn to something trying to swim in a puddle nearby. Time to travel down under for our take on the bunyip. Present in Aboriginal stories across Australia, the bunyip is a terrifying creature with varying descriptions. It always lives in or near the water, and is an ambush predator, but sometimes it's like a seal, sometimes it's like the Loch Ness Monster, or it's more crocodilian, or just completely beyond description. In fact, the first stage's main inspiration is a 1935 drawing of the bunyip poking fun at all of the various descriptions. I saw that sketch and I was like, yep, that's our first stage for sure. We'll let it get nice and intimidating when it evolves, but for now it starts out as a certified goober. Bucktooth, flappy arms, awkward stance. I mean, what's not to love? Let's go ahead and meet Dweebip, the awkward Pokemon. This strange water type is always out of place. It is incredibly clumsy on land, with its noodle arms knocking things over or it just managing to trip over itself. Dweebip is not much better in the water, where it doesn't so much swim as flail about in the water until it gets where it's going. It longs to be helpful, but even the simplest task usually leads to more trouble. Its ability is Klutz, so that keeps it from using held items, with the hidden ability being Unaware. Oh, poor Dweebip. It flops up onto the shore and waddles over to greet you. It waves its long floppy arms at you and manages to smack itself in the face. It's ready to catch if you wanted a Dweebip. In fact, with Dweebip, let's take a look at how our Pokedex is coming along. It is not too shabby at all. And we can see that we now have a section at the bottom for our beast merge forms that we'll be running into along our adventure. You walk even further into the swamp and are almost ready to give up on the search when you hear footsteps coming from the haze in front of you. It's difficult to make out who it is, but it appears to be just one person. They walk confidently towards you. But we'll pick up from there in the next episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying this series. There is a new puzzle added to the Discord server, so be sure to check out the video description for details on how to join the journal deciphering fun if you haven't already joined us for that. Okay, I will catch you in the next one. Later, nerds.